How is it the first week back? Was it earlier this week? Did you guys go back Wednesday?
We came back, yes, on Monday, but yeah, the kids have come back Wednesday, and they were a little sleepy Wednesday, but they have perked right up.
Wow. Wow. Well, yeah. I know that was a much deserved break for both you guys and the students.
No kidding.
It feels like it was forever. I don't have kids, but
it just started so late. What is the overall response kind of at school? I'm sure it's a mixed bag. What people think, some people love it, some people hate it. The fact that we got out so late, like so close before Christmas, but then we went back. I'm sure for teachers that was hard, Amanda, that you guys were trying to pull things together for Christmas and still teaching on the 22nd of December. That's tough.
Yeah, right. And I think it was kind of like a mind shift, because if you're used to having kind of a few days before Christmas, you can finish up stuff. But I think if we had our stuff kind of together, really, it's been good on the back end, because so many people traveled, coming out of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
And so I think it still allowed us to have Christmas with, here with family, however you want to do it. But then also, there are many people that went elsewhere for like a family vacation. And so there wasn't the worry of missing school, that type of thing on the back end. And you still got to kind of enjoy Christmas and that.
I think so too. And I also think that instead of then having your time when everybody's out of school eating up with Christmas preparations, I mean, and I'm not a teacher, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for me, I felt like that, which is not nearly as hard as y'all's schedule and what y'all are juggling. But I'm just saying for me, I felt like to have the actual time after Christmas with my kids out, I got to actually spend more time with them instead of being like, I need y'all to just do something so I can get my myself together.
Exactly. I mean, I think most people have been okay with it, from what I can tell.
Interesting. Okay. Well, it's always going to be a mixed bag, and everybody has their own circumstances. That is for sure. That's for sure. Well, okay, guys, if you are joining us this morning, happy Friday. If you're just hopping on, we are really excited to introduce our friend and educator, Amanda McCall. Walter was lucky enough to have Amanda as his teacher several years ago. I know, Miss Amanda. And so, Amanda, let's start by tell us what your role is in the public school system now.
Okay, so I am the media coordinator at Morehead City Primary School. So that's really just a fancy word for the librarian at Morehead City Primary School.
Cool. That's so awesome. That's so great.
And what we're going to talk about today and what you're going to share with everyone has to go right along with your role as a media coordinator.
Yes.
Great. So we're excited to learn more about this bookmobile and things that ways that folks can contribute to it. But Amanda, will you start by kind of filling us in on the premise behind this project, when it started, kind of why you're doing it?
Yes, so it's kind of my passion project, I guess you could say, that's been simmering for a couple of years, but it's kind of starting to come to fruition. We really struggle over the summers with, that typical summer slide that you hear about kids having, where they lose some of the stuff that they've gained during the year and those type of things. So with the past couple of summers, I opened my library up wanting kids to come in to offer that kind of the accessibility factor. But then the problem is people are busy, right? And some of the kids that you might want to come in maybe can't because of parents working or whatnot. And so the only way that I could think to get books in their hands is to go to them. So I kind of researched, and Carteret County didn't have anything really like this, and reached out, went to some conferences, saw some different things, and that's kind of where this idea came from. It was kind of reignited back in October when I went to the school library media conference for North Carolina and saw kind of what I'm doing here and there, and I was like, oh my gosh, this can happen. So we've worked on gaining sponsors, and we've got some of those lined up to help us with funding. And we've officially, as of today, have purchased the bus. So we do have a bus, which was
this is a physical bookmobile. It's a bus that's gonna.
Yes, right now it is a Carteret County bus that is retired from the fleet. They call it. They age out after. And so the people over at the bus garage, Mr. Harry Brooks, has been super patient with me, like throwing questions left and right about all kinds of things. And so we have the title, and it's technically under Morehead Primary's name right now. And then at this point, we're in the process of talking with West Carteret, and we've got the carpentry students over there who are going to be helping with building shelving and building flooring and help me ripping out seats. Not sure how it's going to go, but we're gonna figure it out.
It's going to go great.
And then the National Art Society, which is also through, or Council, which is also at West Carteret, Amber Swanger is the head of them, and they have been working on a design for the outside and inside of the bus. And so they're going to earn some hours and things like that through that. So the goal.
I'm so excited about this, but I love that it pulls together. You've got teenagers working on it. You've got all kind of different folks who are involved in the process, and I love that it's a retired school bus. That makes me really happy.
Me too.
I know. We thought it was
a magic school bus,
and so it was going to be white, and now it's like yellow. So that's kind of throwing another wrench into it that we didn't think about, but that's okay. Like there's going to be little hiccups, but I mean, I go over, actually later today, Friday, I go over to the high school to meet with the carpentry class. That'll be my first time that I get to like see the kids. But from what I've heard from those teachers over there, they're saying they're excited. And so it's kind of full circle, I guess, to be able to see some of these kids that used to be here and kind of them have their stamp on it. Because it's going to be geared towards kids of all.
This is so cool.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yes.
So it's K through
12.
Amazing.
So the books available will be on the reading level appropriate for kids K through 12.
Yes, or I mean, ideally pre-K, and eventually I would love for it to have even like adult titles on there, because I think that's just as important. I mean, it's good for kids to be able to see their parents and things reading like that too. And the books will be for them to keep, not for them to bring back. Can they bring them back? Yes, gently used they can, but of course that's what the idea is. I mean, we want to build up their library, and so we'll be targeting neighborhoods that we know are in more need. But then we'll be going through other places too. But those are going to be like our first places that we travel to.
So you ask your question first.
Well, I mean, okay, so and maybe you haven't gotten here, Amanda, but like the logistics of it, as far as, so is the goal to have it up and running by this summer?
Yes.
Okay.
So we want to do like a big like bus launch party. Sounds kind of cheesy, but exciting to me. And
I love it.
I've talked to my high school teachers that are collaborating with me on this. And I was like, look, I need it like spring semester. And so we're all thinking, outside of some major catastrophe, that we can make it happen in this semester.
Okay. Sorry, I have one more question. I just want to understand this.
Go for it.
So let's say that the bookmobile is coming to a certain neighborhood. Will there be, how will people know that it's coming to their neighborhood? And then do they just come on the bus and they come and they can choose one title that they take with them? And have you figured out those logistics?
Good question.
We have discussed the logistics.
Okay.
It'll probably become more black and white, but from what I've thought through right now, we'll advertise on social media. So on like Morehead City Primary social media, I'm hoping Carteret County Public Schools would share. Maybe you guys would be willing to share it out. Kind of the neighborhoods times will be there. Will be kind of my thought is like if we go on a Tuesday, we'll be like stacked with neighborhoods on a Tuesday.
Cool. Great.
It's gonna be like 1 or 2 days a week, not every day type thing. And be like once a week to each neighborhood that we're going to in that stack. And then anybody from that neighborhood or anywhere else, if it's just like a neighboring place, is welcome to come get on the bus. To me, I don't want there necessarily be a limit on the books they can take. I mean, probably not like 20, but they could a few would be ideal. So that's kind of the way that I'm seeing it right now.
Amanda, I have 2 questions for you, and they're both pretty quick. Number 1, will you be driving the bus?
Okay, so I will. Yeah. So you have to have a certain, like my husband doesn't agree. He's like, you can't even park my truck, let alone. I was like, but I will be able to very soon.
I love it.
End of January, I'm going to 3 full days of classes to get my first part of my CDL license, then not to do the driving part. I'm more nervous about that than anything else. But yeah, it's kind of like my baby, I feel like.
So cool.
My second question is more of a request / comment as we wrap up. I'm really getting Magic School Bus vibes.
Yeah.
So will you be dressing up as Miss Frizzle? Just a question.
I mean, I do love to dress up. Everybody in my building knows that. So you never know. It could happen.
Maybe
Maybe
it's just for the launch party. Maybe it's Magic School Bus themed.
That would be really fun.
Or it's every time you go. I'm just
kidding. Right. Or every time.
But
and you never know what I'm going to show up in. Yes.
So how can people follow along and how can people support?
Okay, perfect. So we are on social media. I tend to post everything everywhere. So on like MCPS Sandcastle is the name of our Morehead City Primary website, Facebook site. And then we put on Instagram under MCPS Library. We're on Twitter. at MCPS Sandcastle. That's all of it gets posted. We're in charge of that. So we kind of post all of that there. I typically will also share under my pages, which is Amanda McCall. So those are all places that you can follow.
Okay.
And then how can people help? Obviously, it is going to take some like ongoing funds as we progress through this. And we've got a good start as far as local businesses who have been so kind and generous in donating funds to help us get this off the ground. We've obviously had enough to purchase the bus. The funds we have left are going to be going towards wood and paint and things like that to help with transforming the bus. So we are open to any type of sponsorships or donations that people might want to make, any size. No size is too small. If people are interested in doing that, it just is a check or cash, but check is written to Morehead City Primary School.
Okay.
And you can always contact me. I can give you that and we can put it somewhere, but contact me with further questions.
Cool. We'll post in the comments. I'll have Andy, I'll get with Andy and we can make a little graphic, just
okay,
what to follow to be kept up with it, and then how people can help. And we'll post it in the comments a little bit later today.
Okay. And so if we have books, I know it's not time yet to be sure, because y'all don't have anywhere to put the books, but when the time comes, will you let us know that y'all are collecting books?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So we debated about whether to say it now or later, but I was so worried that I would get like inundated with books and not know where to put them. So yes, definitely. We'll of course be accepting very gently used donations, but I will reach out to y'all when we're kind of getting closer to that point and kind of find points of drop off, that type of thing. And
awesome.
We would be happy to take those off people's hands.
Cool.
This is so exciting, Amanda. I mean, you have to just feel so great. I know you've always been a huge reader. Well, for as long as I've known you, you've been a huge reader. And so, I mean, just to know that you are helping to give other people that opportunity to make it really easy and accessible. I think that's exactly right. And to make it exciting, people be able to kind of get a new book and share it and talk about it. And I mean, all the things that we all love about reading.
Well, and it's cool hearing from like adults say, well, I had a bookmobile when I was growing up, or I had one here. So I feel like there are people my age who have had this, but there's just not really anything in our area like that. So, but kids here at primary are super excited. Like they don't understand all of it yet, but they've heard some things because they helped us pick the title of the bus and that kind of stuff. So they're excited. I think it'll be a good thing.
Well, that's so great. That's so awesome. And thank you for doing all this.
No kidding. And Joel, I'm going to go completely out of order. And I'm also going to make this kind of what's saving my life, which is that it's so funny, y'all, because every year, like maybe the day before Christmas, Chip disappears and I don't know where he is. I know where he is. He's out, trying to make up for lost time. Right. And so I get real frustrated because I'm trying to, get stuff in the oven. And I mean, well, this year I went out on December the 23rd and because I wasn't done. So I went out to try and get some of my stuff done. And it was so much fun because, people are out. I ran into so many people that I knew and it was so much fun and going to all the little local businesses and the shopkeepers are so pumped and, different than it was earlier in the month. And so number one, I apologize, Chip. I'm sorry that I always get all over you about that. You were right. It's actually pretty great. And what I love about this is that one of the fun people that I ran into was Amanda and Rick McCall at the little bookstore. Oh my goodness. I know. I was in there getting books for my kids and they were there getting books. I know at the bookstore in the old Kmart shopping center.
That's
just called the
They're so good. They help out our school so many times.
Oh God,
so good.
So great. And there were a couple of books I wanted that they didn't have. And they were like, no problem. We'll go ahead and order them for you. And they 3 days later and they were there. So anyway,
Mr. Bobby is fabulous.
I love
exactly it. What's saving my life is a heartfelt apology to my husband and the fact that I got to see Amanda.
I'm jealous.
And the books 2 days before Christmas.
Amanda, what's saving your life? I love that one.
Thanks.
So, okay, Netflix and books, because I just had surgery on my knee right before Christmas, like December 16th timeframe. And so I've done nothing over the past few weeks, but I read about 8 books and I watched a number of, I've watched a lot of TV. So without those 2 things, I may have lost my mind. So
what was your favorite book you read of those 8?
So we have a book club that we do here at school. And one of the books that we were reading was called The Query Girls. And that was pretty interesting. Mystery, crime, that kind of genre. So pretty good.
I love that.
Query Girls. Okay.
That's a good one.
Great. Yay. I love a good book recommendation. Okay. What's saving your life?
Mine has to do with a book as well, but it's in conjunction with. So have you seen these, Amanda? The Stanley Cups? They're colossal. It's a water bottle, essentially.
Okay.
So Mary Cheatham gifted them to our team for Christmas. It has our little etched logo, our initials. But when I've gotten back into reading in the new year, I'm reading a little fiction, a little something for work as well. But these Stanley Cups, when you're laying in bed, you can just set them right next to you with your book and just like,
It stays there.
yeah. So they're perfectly sized for your reading pleasure. And
I
hydration.
love that.
I love that.
Love that. That's a good tip. I don't know who else
It is.
actually knew that before right now, but I'm glad to know it.
I think that's a great tip.
Awesome.
That's really good.
Well, y'all, this has been so fun. Amanda,
I'm
thank you.
excited about the bookmobile. Amanda,
too.
thank you for doing this for our community. That's a big deal. Thank you very much.
It was exciting. I appreciate you having me on to get the word out. Exciting.
Awesome. Have a good one, Amanda.
Absolutely.
Happy almost second week of school back.
I know.
Happy Friday.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.